Okay. So yeah, just wanted to go over some information about Central Penn today and all that we have to offer to our students. We have our mission statement listed here on this first slide, and basically just letting you know that we are a career-focused school here. So we want to prepare our students for their careers and for the professional workplace. And you can see at the bottom, oh, we had some core values there. That we center all of our interactions with our students around and our education. So integrity, scholarship, excellence, professionalism, inclusivity, and community service. Okay, we can go on to the next slide. So here are some reasons why we love Central Penn. So we are actually set up here a little differently than most schools, most traditional schools. We're set up with 4 terms per year, and they follow the seasons. So we have a winter, spring, summer, and fall term. They each run for 11 weeks, and then you have a 2-week break in between the terms. So they're considered to be accelerated. That way you can get your degree done sooner than you would at a traditional school. So our students really love that fact. And then our class sizes, we do keep them small so that you can get individualized attention from your professors and you're not just lost in a large group of students. So it's about 15 students to 1 professor, and all of our faculty are experienced working in their field. So not like they just graduated themselves and are teaching you from a textbook. They actually have years of experience in the field that they're bringing to the classroom. We offer flexible course options as well. So we do have online courses that are completely flexible to your schedule. So you don't have to log in a specific day or time. You just have to make sure that you're getting all of your assignments completed and submitted by the due dates each week. But if you're someone who likes to be in the classroom, we do offer day courses here at our Summerdale campus, and we do have blended evening courses as well. Both here in Summerdale, and then we have a Lancaster Center that offers some evening courses also. And when I say blended, it means that you would be in the classroom for 3 hours, and then from 6 to 9 here in Summerdale, and then you would have an hour of online learning to do each week per class as well. Lifelong learning, we'll get into that in a little more depth in a little bit, but it's an opportunity for students who might already be working in a field that's related to the degree that they're pursuing. They can see if any of that work experience could transfer in as credits towards their degree. And then if you are a student who previously attended another institution, maybe you didn't finish your degree, or maybe you have an associate's and you want to get a bachelor's here, we can evaluate your transcript and see if some credits could transfer in for you, because any credits that you can bring in here definitely save time and money in completing your degree. Practice of professionalism. So we really do just want to prepare you as much as we can for the professional workplace. So we do have attendance policies, appearance policies, just making sure that you're appropriately dressed for classes, but making sure that you're ready for the professional workplace. And each program here has a required internship, or you can do a capstone. So internship, you're really getting those hands-on skills and learning the skills of your field, whereas capstone, our adult learners tend to lean towards that because they already are working full-time or have children and have so much going on that they don't have time for the internship. But capstone is basically like a detailed research project that you can do in place of the internship. And we do have supports in place here for our students. So we have a learning center available. If you need some tutoring in your classes, you can reach out to them. They offer their services here at our Summerdale campus and online. You'll have advisors assigned to you. We have an advising center where our student success coaches work out of. And then you'll also have a faculty advisor, so somebody from your program who is assigned to you that you can reach out to with any questions, and they can help support you through your journey here. So We do have some new certificate programs that we're now offering, and they can be done in as little as 9 months. So if you're looking to have a quicker way to get your foot in the door in the workplace, you can start off with a certificate program. Our associate degree programs can be done in as little as 15 months, plus your internship or capstone. And these are if you're going full time. So that would be taking 4 classes a term here to be considered full time. And so our bachelor's degree program, you could earn that in 3 years plus an internship. And then we have a master's program that takes 1.5 years. So here's some more information about the lifelong learning opportunity for if you do have that work experience. It's to be eligible for it, you would need 5 or more years of work experience in a relevant field to the program that you're looking to pursue. It only applies to undergraduates, and what you basically do is put together a portfolio that would highlight, like you would have your resume, any training certifications you've done, and doing a write-up to justify why you think you already have that work experience that you could take the place of some certain courses there. So if you do get that approved by the program chair, then you can get the credits for those courses at 1/3 the cost of regular tuition. And we talked a little bit about transfer credits already. So if you do have previous credits that you've completed, it's always worth a shot to get them evaluated to see if they can come in for you. Because like I said, it saves you time and money in getting your degree done here. So we evaluate courses that are C or higher for transfer here. And they have to be relevant to your program. Like if you were enrolled in a criminal justice program before, but now you're going for medical assisting, those core courses probably won't transfer in for you. But if you have like general education classes, then there's a good chance that they could transfer in for you. So there is a max on how many credits you can transfer in. And so for a bachelor's degree, that would be up to 75 credits. And then for our associate's degree program, it's up to half of the degree. And then here's some information about some of the new certificate programs we're now offering. We do have more on the way that they're working on, but right now we've started up the Entrepreneurship and Small Business Certificate Program. It's running online, and then there's also an option to take some classes in Lancaster. We have a medical assisting diploma program that's starting this winter as well, and that's running out of our Lancaster Center. It is a daytime program there. Medical billing and coding is a fully online program, and that's also starting this winter. Phlebotomy, we've been running for a little while now. It's a total of 6 classes. You start off with 2 online classes for your first term, and then the second and third terms you would have 1 online and 1 evening course at our Somerdale campus. And then we do have a telehealth certificate as well, which runs online for, I believe it's 5 weeks. So there's definitely some new and exciting opportunities available. And then we do have associate degree programs here. So you can check those out on our website or reach out to us here in admissions and we can give you some more detailed information about what's required for those programs. And our programs are set up to be what they call ladder programs. So our associate degrees can then be transferred into our bachelor programs. So like you see, we have an accounting associate's degree. And then on the next slide, we also have an accounting bachelor's degree. So if you would come and complete your associate's degree first, those credits would then transfer into the bachelor's of accounting program. And then we do have a master's program here, and that is in organizational leadership. And so we try to do as much hands-on work as we can. So it's really designed to increase your critical thinking skills and prepare you for in the workplace and solving the problems like that you would have in the actual position of leadership in the workforce. Some things that we have available on our campus: we have a library for our students on campus. There's a cafeteria, a swimming pool that's available to students. We have basketball and volleyball courts here. There's student lounge areas, a theater for students. There's a fitness center in our underground and another lounge area. We do have a health clinic on campus, so for students who aren't feeling well, they can go there and be seen. And we have hands-on learning labs. There's computer labs here, and there's also a new gaming center available as well. So our graduate success rate here at Central Penn is 90.6% of our graduates were employed in their chosen field or continuing their education within 1 year of graduation. So that's a pretty high percentage. And if you want to check out some more information about how they came up with that statistic or see some more of our student outcomes, you can log on to our website, centralpenn.edu/success, and you'll find there the 1-year graduate follow-up report that they do each year. So they basically survey our graduates to find out what they are doing with their degree, and then the report will show you where they're finding jobs and what they're doing with their degrees, what positions that they're getting. And career services. So once you are a graduate from here, those services are available to you for lifetime, and you can come back at any time. They can help you with things like writing a resume or do some mock interviews with you if you just want some extra experience with job interviews. They put on job fairs and networking events each term as well. So, and then this is your admissions process. So if you are interested in applying to Central Penn, it's easy. It's a free application on our website, centralpenn.edu. There's no application fee. You just click on the button that says apply now. And then we will set up a campus interview, which can be done either in person or by phone, just to kind of get to know you a little bit better and see how we can best support you. And then we would also need your official high school transcript, and then any previous colleges that you attended, we would need those official transcripts as well. All right, so now I'll be turning it over to John in financial aid so he can give you some information about how the financial side of things works.
Great, yeah, thanks a lot, Sue. My name is John Steindel. I'm a financial planning coordinator here at Central Penn College. We know that finances can be one of the areas that folks have a lot of questions about, and it might seem to be the biggest hurdle. That's why we're here to help. It's myself, and I have 6 co-workers here, full-time financial aid staff, available to help you through your entire time here at Central Penn, before, during, and after as well, to help you navigate through all your questions and help get a plan together for you to cover your costs for school. So today, I'm going to go over some basics. This is kind of a big picture look. What we do here for you, though, is we'll look into your situation individually. Everybody's circumstances are different, and there's different opportunities and possibilities for funding for everybody. So we'll help you individually and help come up with a personalized plan for you to cover the costs of school. So we'll get started here. And before I even begin, just wanted to help you consider what the value of a college education actually is. Everybody knows it can be expensive, but if you think about it, in life, there are many things that we spend a lot of money on. Well, it could be a nice meal, maybe a new television, or even a new car. Those things are nice, but immediately they begin to lose their value. They are some things that we can enjoy, but they begin to have less and less value to you as they depreciate as time goes by. Not so with the college education. If you see this chart, the more education you have, the higher income potential you have. The earning potential increases as you go through from high school up through even a master's degree and beyond. So it's an investment. It does cost, but the rewards more than make up for the initial cost if you work hard and take advantage of the opportunity. Not only that, we want to help you get into a career or continue your career, or if you're looking at something different, that you enjoy as well. So the costs are something to consider as an investment for your future, the rest of your life, that you can see that it will bear fruit and benefits for you. So real quick overview, there's different types of financial aid I'm going to touch on here today. First of all, everyone wants to know about the free sources, and we want to help you with that first as well. We want to make sure you take advantage of any free funding that you might qualify for. So those typically are grants and scholarships. Now, even if you get the maximum of grants offered by the government, both the federal and state, it won't cover all of your costs. So there's other options as well, including the federal student loans. Other sources include employer tuition reimbursement. There are military funding for veterans and active duty members. There's other benefits through the state and also a federal work-study program as well. So first we'll take a look at grants in a little more depth. The primary grants are through the federal government, and there's also a state grant. The federal government grant is called the Pell Grant. It's between $650 and a little over $6,300 a year. So it's not all or nothing. You could qualify for the maximum, or there's also a sliding scale, so you could get a little bit. Some folks don't qualify, but it's based on, for the current term that we're in now and upcoming, our next 2 terms, will be based on your household size and your income from 2018. Now, we know, especially with the pandemic, that some folks' income has changed since 2018, and if it is lower now than it was then, there is an appeal process that you could do to reconsider your eligibility. We'll be glad to help you through that if that's your case. There's also another government grant, federal grant called the SEOG grant, and that's some extra free funding that you might qualify for as well. The Pennsylvania state grant, some people call it the FIA grant, is also free funding. You have to be a Pennsylvania resident and maintain academic progress, but that can be additional funding up to a little over $1,300 per term as well. So those are the different sources of the grants, the free funding. Next up, also the federal government offers student loans. The student loans, they will not check your credit rating at all. Just by doing the application, as long as you're not in default on any prior student loans, you'll be eligible. There's a couple different types. There's subsidized and unsubsidized. The basic difference there is the subsidized portion, you would not be charged interest. Actually, the government will pay the interest for you while you're in school, and during the 6 months after you finish school, they call it a grace period. And then if you'd ever get what's called a deferment at any point, to postpone payments on your loans, they would not charge you interest on that part of your student loans called the subsidized. The unsubsidized, they do charge interest. It would accrue while you're in school and during those other periods that I mentioned. Also, you do not have to make any payments on your federal student loans while you're taking classes, as long as you're going at least part-time, which is 2 classes here. You don't have to make any payments. And then you get that 6 months, as I mentioned, also a grace period after you graduate. They're giving you a chance to get settled in and start a new job after you finish classes. And after that, you would be set up on a monthly payment plan. You can make payments anytime you want, but no payments are required until starting 6 months after you finish school. You can see there are some limits there on a term-by-term basis and over a lifetime. Those are the kind of details that we can go over with you more when we meet with you and talk with you individually. There's also different kind of repayment options. They're very helpful. The federal student loans are much better than your typical car loan or home loan. There's options if you ever have difficulty making payments that they'll work with you to either even stop payments for a short time, or give you payments that are based on your current income. And there's different repayment plans available. So in that sense, they're very helpful, or a good loan. Again, you have to consider it as an investment. Nobody likes loans, but it's an investment for your lifetime. So to apply for the financial aid, the application is called the FAFSA. Now that stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. You can see the website there, FAFSA.gov. It's the application for the federal and the state aid. So there's just one application you need to start out, the FAFSA. Be sure to do your FAFSA every year by May 1st. That's the state grant deadline. So actually the new FAFSA for the coming year is available to do, and the current FAFSA that you would need for the next couple of terms is available as well. So there's two of them out there that you can do right now. We'll be glad to help you with them and help with any questions you have about it. As long as you include our school code on your FAFSA, you can see it there on the screen, or you can look for us by name, but it's easier to put our code on there. We would get your FAFSA information from the government just within 2 or 3 days, and we could be in touch to let you know more about your eligibility and if there's any other documents that we might need. Also, scholarships are another source of free funding, and we definitely want to make sure you have a chance to look into those. We offer numerous scholarships, both to our incoming students, but also to our current active students as well. We have scholarships for those who are transferring in other credits from prior schools. We have some that just require a short essay that you might qualify for. And as I mentioned, once you start here, our active students have over 30 different scholarships that you can apply for twice a year as well. We'll help you with other scholarships. Also, there's a couple websites on the screen there that are you can use as a resource. We can get you some other details on those as well. A really good place to look starting out is any kind of organization or club that you might be part of. Maybe Rotary or Elks Clubs or Scouting or things like that, or even a church or religious organization. A lot of times they will have scholarships or help you with school costs if you inquire, if you ask. It's, like I said, a good place to start. Up next, wanted to touch on employer tuition reimbursement. This is a more and more common thing that employers do to help out their employees. They'll help pay for some of your tuition costs for your school, for your schooling. If you're not sure if you have that where you work, the best thing to do is check with your supervisor or human resources department. They should be able to let you know and get you more details about it. The requirements are always different and specific to each employer, but we do offer a potential option for you to defer payment until after you finish each term. Any student who wanted to make cash payment towards classes, we would normally ask them to make at least a partial payment before they could be registered in classes. But if we know, if your employer verifies that they're going to make some payment for you, you would not have to pay for that out of your pocket. You could wait until you get the money from your employer, which usually isn't until after the term ends, and then pay us the funds. So it's just an option. Again, I know I'm covering things really quickly here. Just want to get it on your radar, just so you know about it. We'll be glad to help you with more details about employer tuition reimbursement. Also related to the employer tuition reimbursement is our Central Penn Partner Program or Community Partner Program. What we do is partner with hundreds of local or even regional businesses and organizations because we want to work together with them to help make your education experience here as fruitful as possible. So one of the things that you could potentially get are scholarships between $1,000 or $2,000 based on your employer's partnership level with Central Penn. You can see the website there and click on that for more details. We'll be glad to get you information that you can ask your supervisor or human resources if they would be interested. There's actually benefits for your employer or your organization as well that we offer to them, as well as potentially scholarship for you also. All right, also real quickly, we are glad to help our military benefits, our military service members and veterans to get the benefits that they earned through their service. That can include the GI Bill with post 9/11 GI Bill, vocational rehabilitation. Also, there's some benefits available to dependents of veterans. There's tuition assistance for active duty. For our National Guard members, there's the EAP award. We also offer a military appreciation award to all those who have served. So We have a dedicated military benefits coordinator here on campus. His name is Dan Garissi, who is available to help with questions. I'm very familiar with that as well. I used to serve in that position here. So we'll be glad to help you navigate through that and make sure, as I said, you get the benefits you deserve as a veteran. There are some other funding sources that you could look into, such as vocational rehabilitation through the state of Pennsylvania, federal work study program. There are some jobs on campus that you can potentially work in and earn. It kind of works like a regular job. The federal government pays part of your wages as well as Central Penn pays a part. Pennsylvania through FIA offers other funding through special programs. You can see there on the screen. And as I mentioned, there are also, you can also certainly make cash payment directly to Central Penn for all or just a portion of your costs if you would like to do that. And then up next, just to talk real briefly, we want to help you find ways to reduce cost as well as finding funding. So as Sue mentioned earlier, we'll be glad to look over any previous college transcripts to see if you could transfer in any credits. It can save you time and money in finishing your degree here. She talked about the lifelong learning credits as well. There's some different options too. You can save on travel time and other expenses by doing online. Books, usually you can buy a used or rental copy to save some money. And we have other tips that we can go over with you as well to help reduce costs for your time here at Central Penn. Up next, to get started, as I mentioned, for the financial aid, the first step would be to complete the FAFSA, the free application. But we'll be glad to talk with you as well because everybody's situation is different. And our goal is to help provide guidance through the entire process. There's no obligation to any of it. We don't charge you any fees or anything. What we want to do is help have a plan together. Sometimes we call it a package to make sure that you have a plan in place to cover school costs. So you have a chance to review it ahead of time to help you make your decision and your plan. So you'd want to submit the application, as Sue mentioned, for admissions here first, and then we'll be glad to help you as well through the financial aid process. And you might find that getting a degree is more affordable than you think. If you have any questions, my information is there on the phone. You can call or email anytime. I will be glad to help. And as I said, we have 6 other dedicated staff, financial aid staff here available to help you as well. All right, I think at this point, we'll turn it over to Megan.
All right, thank you so much, John. So hello, everyone. My name is Megan Peterson. I'm the Dean of Equity and Multicultural Affairs and the Interim Dean of Student Success. And I'm here to talk with you about what it's like to be a parent, a worker, and a student. So managing everything can be really tough sometimes. I know, I get it. I'm currently working towards my doctorate while balancing work and community involvement and a very energetic toddler. So if you're excited to start classes, but also trying to figure out how it's going to work how everything's going to work, I got you. So for my parents out there, first know this, that you are not alone. Roughly 1 in 4 college students is a parent raising a dependent child, meaning that you'll be part of a community of 4.8 million college students across the country. And 54% of them are single parents, no less. For most student parents, figuring out how to balance coursework with life is a major area of concern, and understandably so. You might feel like there's already a million things to do requiring your attention, that you either need more hours in the day or maybe a clone or 2 to get everything done, but it can be done. Go ahead to the next slide there. So it'll certainly be an adjustment. It might take a little bit of time to figure out kind of what that new normal is going to be, but it is doable and you can do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some tips to help you balance it all. Even if you're not going to, or if you're not a parent, going to college can be a balancing act for everyone. So the tips that we're going to cover here can be useful for anyone preparing to pursue a degree. So our first tip here is to start part-time. So for some students, starting their coursework full-time on top of everything else that they're balancing might be a bit much. So you can consider starting part-time in your program to ease into that transition, to take a couple classes at a time, figure out what the workload's like, figuring out how to best manage your time, and then decide from there if it makes sense for you to be a full-time student or if it makes more sense for you to stay a part-time student. Our second tip is to join a peer group. So connecting with peers that also have children to network, to help each other study, to get tips on how different people are managing different things, and to stay on track to graduate can be so incredibly helpful in keeping yourself on track. There's a couple different ways here at Central Penn that we try to encourage that level of community. So first we have our Nights with Tykes Facebook group. So this is a great group of both student parents and also faculty and staff who have been students that are also parents. And we use this Facebook group to share information, helpful resources, and just to connect about things that are going on and things that, as a parent, that you might be facing that other students who aren't parents might not be. So the Nights with Tykes Facebook group is a great place to connect with other students who are also parents. We also have our Central Penn app that has a social feed, so that's a great way to connect with other students and to start building your peer network, to find the folks that you connect with, maybe create study groups or accountability groups together. But finding your peer support group is incredibly important as you're working towards your degree. Another tip is to develop a study routine. So really be prepared. Before your classes start, figure out where you're going to be doing your coursework. Set up a quiet place at home. Sometimes that's tough, but have a designated area where you're going to be doing your work, and set aside time daily, including weekends. Figure out when you're going to have that dedicated time for studying. And that might look different in different seasons of your life. I know when I first went back to school and was working, it meant that I blocked off kind of every Saturday and Sunday. There was a couple hours that I blocked off, and my partner knew that during those hours, that was school time. It looks a little bit different for me now, doing coursework and balancing a very energetic toddler. So now it means that every evening, there's a section of time after the tiny human is in bed that I know that I'm going to be working on my coursework. Nap times on weekends is going to be working on coursework. And we set that expectation ahead of time so that I know when I'm going to be studying. Again, I said that sometimes it might be hard to find a quiet place at home to do that studying. If you find that you need a space away, we do have our Learning Center, which is a fantastic resource, not just for getting tutoring assistance or for having someone help with a paper, look over what you've written, make sure you're on the right track. But the Learning Center is also a great place just to use to study. Quiet place, great resources are there. So if you're finding that trying to get your work done at home is maybe not as conducive as you might have hoped, take advantage of the spaces on campus. Even if you're doing all online coursework, you're still welcome to come and use the Learning Center as a space for quiet study, or the library as well, which was mentioned earlier. So set expectations with the family. So I mentioned this, that there's kind of an understanding that we've developed in my household of certain times are going to be coursework times for me. And it's really important to have that conversation with your family as you're preparing to start your degree. Routines are going to change. It's going to be a new normal for everybody. But by having that conversation ahead of time and setting those expectations for when you're going to need to be focused on coursework, what support you might need in your home environment from your family can be really important. Because when you're going on an educational journey, it's not just you, it's your family going on that journey with you. So have those conversations as you're getting ready to start your degree so that you're kind of on the same page with everyone in your family. Create a life schedule. This is so hugely important. So going to school and balancing work and family, it's going to be stressful at times. It's going to be a lot to manage. But if you take the time to set up a family schedule that is allowing you to have those times for your family commitment, things like exercise, household chores, breaks away from being a student or work, blocking out your time really intentionally can help you stay on top of everything. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. I know I'm kind of tiny over here, but I have a schedule that I use where I literally block out my entire day so that I'm accounting for my time. I know where I'm going to be, whether that's including, all right, during these 45 minutes, I'm going to be driving to work, so I'm going to try to listen to this podcast, and I've got this block of time that we're going to do a family dinner together, and I know that that time is set aside for family, and during this chunk of time, I need to get these 3 assignments done. Having my time blocked out really intentionally has been super helpful for me. And it can be helpful for any student in staying on top of making sure that you're not only keeping track of your assignments, but keeping track of life things as well. That you don't want to lose the things that really make you enjoy your day, just being intentional about scheduling time for them. Other helpful tools that you can use for this are using the calendar on your phone, making sure that you're setting reminders or timers to be able to do things can also be really helpful. Establishing long and short-term goals. So before starting your coursework, taking some time to outline both your short and long-term goals can really help you stay on track to meeting those goals and achieving them. Just the simple act of writing a goal down makes you 50% more likely to achieve it. So that just really simple act of being intentional and writing your goal down. And having both short and long-term goals can help you maintain a sense of progress and achievement while you're in school. So your long-term goal might be, I want to earn my degree. But a short-term goal might be, I want to get an A in my statistics class this term, or I want to make Dean's List within my first 3 terms. And setting those short-term goals to work towards can help you have that achievement as you're going and can really help you stay on track. Get an advisor or counselor. So at Central Penn, you are going to have that advisor support. You're going to have an advisor in our advising center or an assigned faculty advisor. And those are really important resources to use, important people to be talking to as you're going through your educational journey, because they can really provide a whole lot of support to help you stay on track and solve any potential problems that arise. So you're not in this alone. Your admissions counselors will help you through the admissions process, and then your faculty advisors and our Student Success and Advising Center are there to help you once you're in your coursework. It's a really important resource to use. Those are the folks that are going to be able to help you navigate questions that you have about college, about your courses, and make sure that you're staying on track. Along with that, I'd also like to take a moment just to note that we do have a campus counseling center. So if you need some support for something going on in your life that's outside of just academics or outside of general school questions, all Central Penn students have access to counselors for free. And even if you're not attending classes on ground on campus, if you're maybe doing all of your coursework online, our counselors also offer online telehealth counseling. So as a student, that can be a really great resource to take advantage of, is speaking with a mental health counselor for free during the duration of your time as a student. So our 8th tip is to participate in campus activities. So you might be thinking, how am I going to have time for activities on top of everything else? But finding ways to get connected with the college community can be extremely rewarding. And campus programs or organizations can be really good ways to do that. There are a number of organizations that you might consider joining, whether it be our Armed Forces Association, which really works with our veteran students and our students that are in active military service. It might be, if you're pursuing a degree in business, looking at joining Phi Beta Lambda, which is our business club. They do really great trainings and conferences and bring in speakers and help improve networking. But there's also just fun activities that you can be involved with, even with your family. So we've done a family flick series where we do family-based films and encourage students to bring their families on campus to enjoy those activities. We do our Fall Family Festival and other events throughout the year that really welcome participation, not just from students, but allow you time to bring your family on campus and be involved in that way as well. Even virtually right now in this pandemic world, we have events like bingo that happens on Zoom every week that you're welcome to participate with your family members and join in kind of a fun way there. So number 9, staying organized. This is so hugely important as you're trying to juggle a lot of things and stay on top of assignments and work and family. So again, going back to keeping a planner or calendar that includes all of both your school and family responsibilities, keeping all that information in one place can really help you stay organized and stay on top of things. I know I keep one big running to-do list for myself of both school and work and family, things that I need to get done, and kind of note them differently by using different little shapes for the bullet points. So whatever system works for you, kind of figuring that out and implementing that and using it regularly can really help you stay on top of everything that may be going on. And finally, number 10, try to get some sleep. I know that can be really hard to do and maybe easier said than done when you have a lot going on, but it is a really important piece of this. So when you're burning the candle at both ends as a parent, student, employee, it can lead to burnout, and it can be really tempting to just kind of stay up late and try to get everything done without giving yourself time to sleep. But taking care of yourself and resting, engaging in self-care activities, the things that make you feel filled up and keep your tank full and going, is incredibly important. So as you're kind of blocking out all your time, scheduling out all of your different to-dos and priorities, make sure that you're prioritizing time to take care of yourself as well, so that you can keep going and get through your program going strong. So I hope that these tips were helpful. If you have kind of questions or comments around that, or want to talk about creating a plan to be successful, please don't hesitate to reach out. My contact info is there. I'm also happy to get you connected with our advisors or our campus counselor once you become a student, and help make sure that you have all the supports in place that you can be successful as a student juggling a lot of priorities.
Okay, thanks, Megan. And then we just wanted to share just briefly some student success stories, some of our alumni who have been successful here and know what they have accomplished so far. So first we have Landon Rowe. Landon, before he came here to Central Penn, he was working at a convenience store and then also a diner, putting in 16 hours a day. And so he was just tired of the whole routine of going to work all day and then coming home sleeping and going through that same cycle over and over again. So he decided to go to school. He ended up with both an associate and bachelor's degree, and he is now a senior accountant and continues to climb the corporate ladder there. And his experience is really similar to a lot of our Central Penn students. He was a first-generation college graduate. He was a transfer student to Central Penn, and he worked full-time while earning his degree. So it can be done with those tips that Megan shared with balancing your work and school life. And then we have Aaron Beverly. Aaron is somebody who has placed second in the Toastmasters International World Championship of Public Speaking in Washington, D.C. And this is really a remarkable accomplishment because there were 35,000 that were coached and prepared to participate in this. And so he came in second out of all of those. So that is awesome. And he first started in the Toastmasters here at Central Penn College. And then we have Kristal Turner-Childs, who she was here for her master's in organizational leadership. And then she was promoted to a major and then named as director of the 300-person Bureau of Forensic Services, one of the largest departments in the Pennsylvania State Police. And so with that announcement, she became the second African-American woman to attain the rank of major in the organization. So some pretty phenomenal accomplishments by our graduates. And you can find some more of our alumni success stories on our YouTube channel. So check them out and see how they relate to you. And one day we can put your success story on there as well once you're a Central Penn graduate.